Hello and welcome. Today is Monday, the first day of March 2015. Welcome. My name is Derek. In this video, we'll take a look at the daily, weekly, and monthly for the silver chart, and then finish it off within Silver Eagles sold the first 2 months of each year, going back to the inception of the coin. Daily chart, Friday session, didn't really do anything, no gain, no loss, after it really spent a small uptrend throughout the entire week on very small volatility. 1.75% Friday. Pretty much was the same for most of the days, maybe a bit bigger, but 2.5 has been the median, and it has been higher than that as of late. But yeah, so what do we see here? Obviously, we're in a pattern of lower highs, lower lows, and it's in the current stage of resisting this area. If it doesn't sell off really even today, the band is going to be in that flattening situation, getting above it. Okay, we can talk about this low, maybe even this low and this low, the more broader based, a second higher low, and then you'd be challenging the previous high to what could be a third higher high. That's of course on the situation of a bullish level. You really need to see it. I think 17 is a perfect psychology number to go through, and if it's 16 and a quarter, if it's having a hard time in that area, just stand sideways in the 16, that area up to like 16 and a half, then there I'd be thinking, okay, maybe it's resisting this area like it did here, and expect a break of this low, with the most probable level being in at 15 and 2/3. So that was what I basically see on the daily time frame. If we adjusted to the weekly time frame, last week's gain was a third of a buck, or 2%. And I talk a lot about the failed moves breakdown in situations where we have to get above the band, come back to it, all that type of stuff. Well, as of now, band is still flat. It hasn't broken through the 18 average of lows. And any type of move, if say like, I don't know, if 10, 20 weeks go by and you see that it breaks above it, I'll be saying, yeah, it held in this area and then broke through, if of course that's what comes into play, because a break of this resistance in here, I'll put the consensus for this chart to be newly bullish, something that I haven't said on the weekly time frame since the price was over $30 per ounce. And breaking down in below here, well, yeah, test of this, and then we'd be talking about the monthly time frame, so that's bringing that up. February was a loss of 2/3 of a dollar, or almost 4%. Also low volatility. 10% was a volatility for the month, with a median of 17. And we can see all this time the bands have been resisting. Okay, so the flattening out hasn't come into place. You're going to really need one of two things. This thing to just have like a long stretch of up months, really getting up above the 20 number, but at least, or more expected, band to flatten out. For this to be the case, you really need to hold above the high 16 levels and even test into the 18, 19s, doing that for a couple months, band flattening. And that's just one step that I'm looking for this to break through. I need it to break above, establish resistance, come back, and then break again. Obviously, the bear markets occurred on this time frame, and here nothing has been done yet to even neutralize it. And on a break below here, where would support be? You know, it's tough to call. Obviously, the next big one on previous levels is all the way down to 8.5. That's a big push. It didn't take long to do it before in 08. But you can even just go by percentage terms, full bucks or 10%, that type of stuff there. And that would be the next key support levels, because I don't know how low this thing can keep going. Obviously, the market is controlled by, I don't know who the names are, but it does seem as if whatever they want to do, they might be able to do it. And if that's what they want to be able to do, or if that's what they want to do, they might be able to do it. And we'll see if it happens. Of course, you got people looking for lower prices to be buying it. Some people only buy on bull markets, and I got to think that that is the majority of the people. And I think there's probably even a set of mindset where if it's high, they're like, eek, I don't want to buy it because it's I could have bought it here. I just don't feel good about it. And then you're people, at the same people that is, who'd be at this level, oh, it's just that going down. I don't want to buy something that keeps going down. And I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out a bunch of human psychology. Really, that's what it comes down to. But that is the charts for the 3 time frames. Let's take a look at the Silver Eagles sold from the U.S. Mint. Just the first 2 months of each year going back to 1987. This year, 8.5, barely microscopically higher than last year, but in my book, the exact same, which was a bit below 2013, a little bit above 2012, and a little bit below 2011. Okay, so obviously not much happened. This tells me people surged into buying silver 2008, 2009 time frame, and it really hasn't stopped. That's the basics upon it. If I put some data just for something to do, I'm going to do that now. We'll go over it. Coming into the year 2008, the largest minted year was almost 10.5 million, which was 2002. So 8.5 is just 2 million below what the largest was through all of these years and 1/6 of the time frame. The overall largest year was 2013 at 42 million this year here. You can say, well, it's on pace to do it if you take 8.5 and multiply it by 6, but January has large sales totals because people want the New Year's minted on, of course, the coin. And so that's why January has the highest levels. In 1999, over 9 million were sold after 7 straight years with under 6 million sold in each. So 98, 97, and a bunch of those other ones, it was under this for the entire year. This was pretty much how much they sold. Somewhere even down to here. It was low numbers for so many of those years, but why would people want to buy silver at those extremely depressed levels back then? Mainly because they didn't know. That's my guess. Okay, so thank you for tuning in to this month-end video, and I'll talk to you later on throughout the week or the next weekend. Take care. Have a good week.